Once the Gerudo were long gone, Link continued on the road to Lake Hylia, which diverged south from the river that went on to flow through Gerudo Valley. He was determined to undermine the plot he had just overheard, which caused him to walk anxiously, almost in a break step. After a couple of hours, the path began to gradually descend. It cut downward as the land to either side rose up, nestling the path in a small valley. It came up to a gate signaling the entrance to the main lake shore. It was grander than the one at the entrance to Kakariko Village, with dark gray brick flanks that abutted the gray rocky hills. On one of these embankments, a great brown owl was perched, hooting at Link. It was Kabora Kabora. "Link, up here!" "You again," Link said, partly glad to see him again, but still annoyed by their last encounter. "When I last saw you, you were reluctant to embark on a quest. But here you are, nearly running to make haste." "What do you want?" Link asked with a smirk on his face. "Beyond this point is Lake Hylia. It is full of rich, pure water. And it is the home to a place held sacred by the Zora. They live all the way upstream from the river." Link was taken aback. "Have I been going the wrong way this whole time?" "My boy, do not be discouraged." He started to flap his wings. "No matter how tough it gets." As the owl flew away, Link was yelling, trying to get something more helpful than that. Frustrated, he continued to the shore. There was a small settlement there, a few houses with one on the mouth of the river, drawing power with a water wheel. As he gazed out onto the beautiful, glimmering blue waters, he saw that dark, steep bluffs engulfed the vast body of water, almost as a wall of protection. In the distance, near the other shore, there was some sort of a hut, with a boat slowly rowing into its dock. Closer to his end, though, was an island with a lone massive tree, its leaves rustling in the lake breeze. Around the island, there was a school of white fish-like creatures. Link could hear them making gurgling sounds in the distance. He figured these were Zora. He walked to the water's edge, thinking about how he would get their attention. Link stepped into the shallow water of the shoreline. The water was cool and refreshing on the warm day. He had swum before, in the creeks and waterholes of the Kokiri Forest and Lost Woods, but never in anything as deep as this lake. The mucky silt beneath his boots sloped steadily downward. He waved and called for their attention, but his attempts proved futile. They were calling out in that gurgling tone, as if they were looking for someone. He was debating whether he should remove some of his clothes and swim out there, when a glimmer of bright light caught his eye. It was different than the lake's glimmer. It was coming from the bottom, just a short way out from where he was. It held his stare, entrancing him enough to forget about his garments and dive straight in. It was about twice and a half as deep as he was tall, but in the clear waters, he was able to retrieve the object that was nestled in the wet dirt. After gasping for air at the surface, he swam to shore to inspect the object he had recovered. It was a corked bottle, containing a piece of paper. "A message in a bottle," Navi postulated. Link yanked out the cork and fished out the note. It was written in an odd, curvy language, but also in Hylian. "Help me. I'm waiting for you inside Lord Jabu Jabu's belly. Ruto. P.S. Don't tell my father." It was a distress note, though Link did not know what Ruto meant by Lord Jabu Jabu's belly. "What do you have there?" said a gurgling voice seeming to come out of nowhere. Link bobbled the bottle as he was startled by the Zora. His solid blue eyes looked from Link to the note he was holding. The creature was very similar to a man, only the Zora had webbing between his toes, fins sprouting from his arms, flappers sprouting from his back, and a flipper tail sprouting from the back of his head. His scaly skin was bright white, but was spotted with brilliant blue markings. Link looked beyond him to the school of Zora calling out in gurgling noises. "Are you looking for somebody? Ruto?" he asked. "How did you know?" the Zora asked perplexedly. "What do you have there?" Link handed over the note written in Hylian and what was most likely a Zoratic writing. The Zora read the note over and over, in disbelief. He looked to Link and asked, "Where did you find this?" "In this bottle, just down at the bottom there," he said, dripping with water as he pointed to where he dove to pick it up. "It takes days for something to flow here from Zora's domain," he said, mostly to himself. "I'm surprised it didn't get caught somewhere in Castletown." "Who is Ruto? Is she really in someone's belly?" Link asked in disbelief. "Lord Jabu Jabu would never eat one of us, let alone the princess." "Princess?" "Princess of the Zora, Princess Ruto." The Zora recognized the confusion Link still had in his face. "Lord Jabu Jabu is a great big fish. He embodies the spirit that looks after our people. This is why I am surprised to learn that she was swallowed by him." He called to his brethren, and they started swimming towards the shore. He turned back to Link, saying, "We should return to the king with this at once. Is there anything I can do to repay you for finding this?" Link did not want to outright ask for what was surely a treasure to the Zora like the ruby was to the Gorons, but they were about to leave, so he asked directly, "I was hoping to obtain the spiritual stone of water." The Zora looked upon him and smiled. His teeth had blunt points to them. "Then we should take you to the king as well." He showed the note to the other Zora, speaking in that gurgling tongue to them. The others looked over at Link with their piercing blue eyes. One of them swam off towards the other side. It was explained to him that he would travel with them on a rowing boat up the river, but rest assured to him, he would not paddle upriver. The Zora would pull him all the way to their home in the east, Zora's domain.